Hey guys, Damien Gambler back here again. Today I'm going to show you my pistols. And there's a lot of them, so let's get started. So my first one is a revolver. It is the Follett New Vegas 357 Magnum. Next up is another single action revolver. It's a 44 big bore revolver. Yeah. Next up is a old ball and cap revolver with a spinning cylinder, and this piece moves on this pin. Next up we have Kellogg's revolver from Fallout 4. Got sights, hammers, and it pulled back. It's got these, whatever they are. Next up is another ball and cap revolver. It's oversized. I'd say this is like 44 or something. It's got a pullback hammer and has Vanoss logos. Next up is a Fallout 3 32mm pistol. The hinge did break open at once, but what was holding it closed wouldn't hold it closed. Next up is a Colt Python. It is a snub-nosed. Next up is another Python. This one's a full-sized. This one is like Rick Grimes. Next up is a Fallout 4 pipe revolver with swing-up magazine. I used it for my Halloween costume. Next up is the Sakura's revolver, or however you want to pronounce it. I hand painted all that, other than the bear. The bear I didn't paint by hand. It's got sights. Here is the hunting revolver from Follett New Vegas. It's got the scope. This is made of paper and wood glue. It shoots 40-70, same caliber as my dad, so I had a very accurate representation of what the barrel would be like. Next up for another revolver is the That Gun or Blade Runner's pistol. It is I think it's a Steyr Mannlicher Rifles receiver molded onto a Taurus Bulldog revolver receiver. Yeah. Next up is a Colt 1911. This one's 1911 from World War I. Due to certain details, you got a pull-up magazine, and this one's a little bit too thick. So when I was at my friend's, he has the 1911, a real one. So I go ahead and made a more accurate to scale one when I was there, and it has pull-up magazine too. Next up is the 2mm Calibri with pull-up magazine, working slide, and it has a little tiny trigger. If I can get the camera to focus. Whatever. And next up is a Beretta M9. This one is missing a piece because that peeled off. And I also have another Beretta M9. They're both different sizes because this one I made a long time ago, and this one I made recently. I want to remake it so it's in between because these both aren't the same length, aren't the right length. Next up is a pistol from an anime called Hellsing. It's the Casull 454 Casull. Next up is a Luger P08 with slide and magazine. Next up is a Beauchart C96 with slide and magazine. Next up is a 22 pistol with trigger, slide, and magazine. You've seen this one before. It is a C96 with slide, hammer, and adjustable sights. Next up is the Fallout 4 10mm pistol. The magazine removes and that's it. Next up is the Pretty Boys pocket pistol from TF2. It's an oversized pocket pistol, so it isn't really a pocket pistol. Next up is a Glock. I still have to paint the handle because I put sandpaper for grips. Got slide, sights, magazine, and trigger. Next up is a Battlefield 1 flare gun from the British side. You got brake action, it's got the shell and trigger. Next up is the Fallout 3 10mm pistol with just removable slide. That's a magazine, I mean. Next up is a Fallout 4 hunting rifle pistol version. It's got working bolt, pull-up magazine, and sights. Next up is an Obrez. It is a cut down Mosin Nagant. It's got bolt and scope and sights if you want it. Alright, so comment down below if you want me to make a tutorial on any of these guns. I will more than likely make them in the future when I get more materials. This is Damien Gambler signing off. See you till next time.